Thank you for joining us here for another Warhammer 40K Battle Report sponsored by Black Arrow Minis. And also to the generosity of one of my mates and patrons, Dr. Spork, for donating one of his classic pieces of terrain, which he designed, which is based on an iconic piece of scenery in the GW studio in the early 90s. In the video description you'll find links to his designs, so you can help support Dr. Spork and decorate your own retro battlefields for your games of Warhammer 40K. In today's game, I'm joined with my battle-weary mate Nick, gracing us with his Eldar, which we have never seen played in a Crown of Command Battle Report until now. As he chose sides, he got to deploy first, giving his inferior strategy rating. And it was nice to see some of those classic Road Trader tiger stripes on the Alatok Guardian helmets. And Nick brought a nice variety of mainly infantry with aspect warriors such as the Die Avengers with their deadly shuriken catapults, to the airborne flyers of the Eldar Sweeping Hawks. For close combat, Nick took a squad of Howling Banshees led by their Exarch. And in support he took a squad of Dark Reapers, which he conveniently placed in Overwatch due to the luck of drawing Covering Fire as his strategy card. The Spirit Host of Wraithguard emerged near the ruins, and the Iandan Craftworld had a squadron of Guardians in support. And the dopey sod facing him today was yours truly, playing a Nurgle Chaos Army which I recently completed as a commission for my good mate Carnifex in Australia, on behalf of Eavylead Studios. If you would like me to splash some colour and 90s contrast onto your pile of lead, please email me for a quote at eavylead@gmail.com, as I am accepting commissions again for 2026. The Chaos list, I had a very small contingent at my disposal, starting with the Dreadnought, a squad of 5 Chaos Terminators of Nurgle with a Reaper autocannon, 2 5-man squads of Nurgle Marines, 3 bases of Nurglings, and a Chaos Lord in power armor. Off the table I had some demons which I hope to summon during the game in the Psychic phase. And finally, Nick had his Eldar Scouts deploy hidden under the protection of the forest. Rolling for initiative, it was no contest really, as the Chaos Lord won the roll and initiated war upon the Eldar. As I took a Chaos Dreadnought, I had to pass a stupidity test at the start of each compulsory phase. The Nurglings scurried under the cover of the bunker, allowing the Nurgle Marines with their lord to take cover behind the wild cacti vegetation. The Nurgle Marines on the other side, seeing the Dark Reaper squad on Overwatch, kept out of sight. Chaos Terminators shuffled to the side of the ruins to be able to draw fire to eligible targets in the shooting phase. The Dreadnought with its heavy plasma gun had the biggest threat on the table within sight, and shot at the front of the Wraithguard squadron. Jinxing myself for not rolling to hit first and rolled a jam on the sustained fire die, which I learned quickly that doing so came with dire consequences. The blast instead was centered on the Dreadnought, with its heavy weapons molten ammunition harmlessly pulsating around the vehicle and thankfully not affecting the Terminators around it. Hoping to make up for that, the Reaper autocannon Terminator targeting the Wraithguard managed to score 5 hits. Strength of the Chaos heavy weapon penetrating the Wraithguard's armor, I rolled to determine their fate. I began to feel I made up for the Dreadnought's foul luck, destroying 3 of the Wraithguard, knocking down 2, which left 1, the last one standing. In the Psychic phase, Nick's Warlock cast Guide on his remaining standing Wraith Guard. His target, the Reaper Autocannon Terminator. Failing my only chance to nullify it, saw the end to my reign of terror, much to Nick's relief, as the Chaos Terminator was vanquished under the Wraith Guard's cannon. Nick then cast Fortune on his unit of Die Avengers, ending the Psychic phase, but bringing the start to Eldar turn 1. Nick used the high movement value of the Eldar to close the gap to their Chaos adversaries. I was happy to see that the Swooping Hawks made use of the new terrain feature by flying on top of its stairs, and the Wraith Guard that had fallen were now back on their feet and moved forward under the psychic command of the army's Warlock. Wotan's Dire Avengers took the lead of the Warlock, accompanying them, and advanced into the forest to join their scouting rangers. And the Ionin Guardians formed a line of shuriken defense to help cover the advance of their Eldar brethren. The Ionin Guardian squad took aim at the Nurgling mob and inflicted 2 wounds, which made Papa Nurgle rather upset. In the Eldar Psychic phase, Nick's Eldar Eye spied on the Chaos Dreadnought, and his Warlock cast Guide on the Wraith Guard, which I was unable to nullify. With the Wraith Guard's cannon automatically hitting the Dreadnought, it was just a case of locating where and what damage it caused. Nick rolled high on the leg location, which sent the Beast of Steel crashing to the ground, effectively destroying it as a result. All that was left to do was to summon the almighty Greater Demon Nurgle, the incarnation of all things putrid and vile. And for the first time in the game, I was now able to cast psychic powers, as the Greater Demon of Nurgle starts with all 4 powers of Nurgle at its disposal. Concluding the first turn, Nick was just ahead of me on victory points for damaging and destroying the Chaos Dreadnought. Now it's up to Chaos to even up the score in turn 2. The Ionin Guardians repelled by the decay and stench of the Greater Demon upon its approach. The Nurgle Marines, led by their Liege Lord, took cover behind the bunker, which triggered an overwatch shot by the Rangers with their needle sniper rifles. But thanks to Nurgle, they managed to make it there unscathed. The Terminators had to regroup with the loss of their Reaper autocannon, and the second squad of Nurgle Marines stationed themselves within the sanctuary of the forest. The Terminator Stormbolters claimed the life of one of the Die Avengers, and in the Psychic phase yielded good fortune as I cast Plague Wind with ultimate force on the Die Avenger squad. Plague Wind can be very deadly, as a Chaos caster rolls 3 dice and the total subtracted from the unit's toughness of 3, which in this case inflicted 11 wounds on the proud Eldar. The psychic damage was evident as many of the Aspect Warriors died under the plague effects, including one of the 3 Warlocks. Worse for Nick still was that for every 3 casualties I get to summon a Plague Bearer, giving Nick more problems to deal with in his turn 2. To follow up on that, I cast Steam of Corruption, which engulfed the Ionin Guardians in toxic gases that claimed the lives of 2 of them, and the Exarch, using his refractor field, dodged certain death. Nick's Warlock cast Executioner, which projects a psychic form of the Warlock to engage in hand-to-hand combat with a model anywhere within 18 inches. Engaging a Plague Marine, the Warlock defeated him with ease with his Witchblade and ending the psychic projection. The Greater Demon of Nurgle's hideous visage, too terrifying for the Eldar Guardians, had them run for the nearest cover and amongst the ruins. And the rest of the Eldar looked to take positions to allow them line of sight to Chaos targets in the shooting phase. Howling Banshees managed to charge and engage the Plague Marines in the forest. Nick struggled to find any eligible targets in the shooting phase, and the only wound caused was saved by the demonic protection bestowed to the Nurglings. In the hand-to-hand combat phase, the Plague Bearer's cloud of flies overwhelmed the Dire Avenger, and the demon's Plague Sword struck the Eldar down. On the far side of the battle, the Eldar Banshees' screaming masks echoed across the battlescape, freezing the Plague Marines in the forest, which saw their downfall. In the psychic phase, Nick's Eldar Power Guide was successfully nullified by the Greater Demon of Nurgle. Through the warp, 3 Beasts of Nurgle were summoned to slither upon their alien enemies. In the last phase of the game, Nick had managed to rally the fleeing Guardians in the Imperial ruins. And Nurgle had slimed their way back up the victory point chart to equalise the Eldar leading into the final turn of the game. Nurgle had blessed me with the Reinforcements strategy card, which saw a Chaos Dreadnought take to the field. The Greater Demon of Nurgle wobbled forward with its Nurglings close behind, and the puppy dog-natured beasts of Nurgle encircled the Eldar entrenched in the forest. Having successfully passed its stupidity test, the Chaos Dreadnought now advanced to draw line of sight to its first target. Generating power through its heavy plasma cannon, it successfully vaporized an Eldar Wraithguard, which in turn generated more summoning points for the psychic phase. The Chaos Lord ordered the Plague Marines to dig in and send a hail of rapid-fire bolter shells at the swooping hawks that stood in the open upon the cathedral ruin steps. The fear-inducing demons of Nurgle tested the bravery of the Eldar scouts and aspect warriors. And the Beasts of Nurgle's D6 attacks overwhelmed the Eldar defenders as they succumbed to their inevitable death. In a psychic duel, the Greater Demon of Nurgle overcame the Warlock's mind, banishing the Guide's psychic power. Following that, the Greater Demon cast Aura of Decay upon itself and also summoned more demons to join the ranks to bolster the front lines before the Eldar's final turn of the game. Head in hands, Nick rallied the Eldar to a final push to steal victory in the final turn. The swooping hawks swooped and dropped crack nades on the demonic host before firing upon them with las guns, reducing one base of Nurglings. and the Wraithguard's cannon inflicted the first of its 10 wounds to the Greater Demon, and the Howling Banshee's Exarch dispatched the final Plague Marine. Desperation now set in as Nick's Warlocks were his last hope in banishing my demons. Desperation now set in as Nick's Warlocks were his last hope in banishing my demons, casting Eldar powers such as Destruction and Executioner, which proved fruitless in the end, with every attack resulting in successful demonic aura saves. Bringing the battle to its conclusion, it was time for us to reveal what missions we had. Nick had Witch Hunt, which was much to my surprise, having the same mission, and given I had achieved my main objective, Chaos had won this day, much to the delight of the Chaos gods, which looked to bless their followers with mutations and glory. In closing, I hope you enjoyed this battle report today, and a special thank you to all my patrons who helped support me in making these videos for your enjoyment. And if you did enjoy this video, could I ask that you please like and give us a comment below, as I do enjoy reading your thoughts and nostalgic stories. Until next time, my friends,